Hey, good morning, Facebook family. Hope all is well. Hope you're in good health, good spirit. Happy Wednesday. I know we're getting close to the holidays. We're 1 week away from Christmas. So I know we're doing that last minute shopping, trying to get everything together. You know, many times I'm always looking at, how are we conforming to the worldly ways of our lives? What's the difference between one viewpoint and another viewpoint? What's the difference between one person's ideology and another person's ideology? What is the difference between one's philosophy and another person's philosophy? What's the difference between one's faith and another person's faith? One's spirituality and another person's spirituality? Why do we agree to disagree? Why do we don't agree? And why do we disagree? Why these things are the way they are? And I ask myself this question because we say that we're in it for each other. We say we're in it for the right reasons. We say we're doing things for the sole purpose of elevating our own individual lives, glorifying God, and also doing it for our fellow neighbor. But it seems to me that something comes up missing as it relates to that narrative. So my message today is, why do we accept the ways of the world? Do we understand we the people hold the power? Why don't we trust the Spirit? It always knows. What I've come to realize, so many different ways of dealing and looking at situations, we get so caught up in a superficial way of living. We're so caught up in what we think we should be doing and what we should be doing. We have to understand our sole purpose in life. Who are we? What are we? What is the why to every given situation? Do we believe in ourselves? Do we think we're capable of being great? Can we handle the success when it comes our way? Can we deal with the adversity as it confronts us? Are we a person that makes plenty of excuses? Do we blame? Do we justify? Do we point the finger? Who are we as individuals as we're dealing in this world that has so many moving parts? What's the makeup of who we are? What's our legacy going to be? What are we going to leave behind? Why are we who we say we are? And why do people view us differently than how we see ourselves? These are some of the things that's ongoing in our lives that we have to understand and navigate through, because we're constantly trying to adapt to change, and the world is evolving as we sit and speak right now. Do we speak to people? Do we smile? Do we show love? Are we an inspiration? Are we leaning on other people to inspire us? Do we know how to inspire ourselves? Do we know how to push through certain challenges? Do we know how to communicate? Do we know how to listen? Do we know how to speak truth to ourselves and to others? These are some of the things that we have to continue to understand that's plaguing us. And we have to realize, who are we in the midst of our overall development in life? I just believe that we're going to continue to live mediocre lives if we don't start making extraordinary changes to our life. We're too satisfied with not doing what it is that God has us to do and to accomplish what we need to accomplish. I've been telling people this for the longest, and I really believe that people just think I'm crazy. What you put in is what you get out. If you're jiving and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, that's what your result is going to be. If you're shortcutting And you're making all these, because hasn't been one time that I've put that work in, and it hasn't been one time that I've broken my neck and pushed myself forward and did what I was supposed to do where I didn't get a result. It hasn't happened one time. So when people say these things to me, it's almost like, what, do you think I'm crazy? Because spiritually, that's just the way it is. Even when a person is not even good in terms of their morale, when they out here humping, whether it's doing illegal stuff or whether it's doing construction, whatever your job is, when you work hard, you get rewarded. When you work hard, God finds a way. When you work hard, labor. When you really study the word and understand how God works, labor. When you are a phenomenal laborer, he rewards you. That's just what it is. Because things open up and things happen. And success and goals are met. But I know, I just say the things just to be saying. And I know that some people don't really get where I'm coming from. But the one thing I learned about life is the best teacher. And there's certain things that come within our lives that get us to understand what it's going to be. We cannot get caught up in the ways of the world. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for us to be able to say, this is why this hasn't happened. God doesn't say, the reason I didn't get you up this morning is because I had to deal with somebody in Australia. God doesn't say, the reason I didn't bless your life is because I had to give a blessing to this person over in Africa. See, we got to wake up. And we got to understand that we're in spiritual warfare. And how we do in this spiritual warfare, when the time comes where we have to face whatever we have to face, that's going to be the crossroad of our lives. Were you faithful? Did you listen? Did you surrender to the Spirit? And did you live in fear? Did you live in excuse? Did you live in justification? Nothing speaks great to that. So I close out by saying, I hope everyone is okay. I hope you're in good health, good spirit. Again, I'm just speaking to the things that has been put on my spirit, that I'm studying on a daily basis. I'm not just coming out off the cuff. I'm meditating, and I'm embedded into what God wants me to see and recognize and understand. I hope those who recognize that make those changes in their lives, because the clock is ticking. We have a short period of time on this earth, and we have to understand that we're on assignment. And when we fail the assignment, we fail ourselves, we fail God, and we fail the people that we're serving. So please, y'all, wake up. Get on the ball. Mediocrity is not an option. We have to breathe life of greatness. And if we don't show the greatness within us, then it trickles down into our families, to our children, to our grandchildren. And that's why our kids right now are suffering in these inner cities. Because we're failing them, because we're not taking these different practices. And if you got 5 over here doing it, 5 over there, next thing you know, years tack on, decades tack on, and then boom. Now we're where we are. And then you got kids killing. You got kids on an anarchy. You got people just doing whatever. So please wake up, y'all. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you for all that you represent and all you do. And for those that are doing well and doing great, I celebrate you. For those that understand the mission, I'm ever so grateful. Remember to hug somebody, kiss somebody, and do what's necessary to elevate somebody. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Have an outstanding rest of the week. See you on Friday.